Vignesh, if you could please go on to the next slide. All right, great. So Raghu, he has worked as a senior cloud architect with 16 plus years of experience in the field. He's worked for companies like JP Morgan Chase and Co, Oracle, Glue, etc. And he has already trained more than 6,500 students as well. Another good news that I wanted to put across is that we are being recognized by major news outlets like Outlook, Mint, Deccan Chronicle, etc. Now, to introduce you to the team and the people you will be introduced to moving forward, like I already mentioned, the trainer will be there with you throughout from the start till the end with all of your questions, etc. And when it comes to job assistance, let's say mock interviews, and also when it comes to ATS scores, Krishna will come into play. She will help you out with resume building and also ATS friendly resumes, which is now the in thing. This is just an example of what she has done, how she has helped one of our students before, and the ATS score is 85, which is an impeccable score. This is just an overview about how Krishna will be helping you in the coming days. Moving to course highlights, we will be covering 120 plus hours of training. We will also have real-time project experience just so all of you are market ready and you are well versed with all of the tools. The training will be done in multi-environments, which is development, QA, quality assurance, and production. Now, another very important thing that all of you need to note is that we will have a Q&A support window. We have a dedicated Q&A team who will be there to help you out for 8 hours. There will be an 8-hour daily window. Another really exciting thing is that this is lifetime. So let's say the course ends and you have a sudden doubt about something. Our Q&A support team will be there with you throughout, even after the course ends. Now coming to mock interviews, there are a few people who are very good at when it comes to technical knowledge, but cracking interviews is something that a few people find difficult. So you don't have to worry. We will try to groom you when it comes to interviews as well. And like I mentioned, ATS resume preparation, that's when Krishna will come into play. You'll be introduced to Krishna very soon. She will help you with ATS friendly resumes. We also have an exclusive job portal which is already live on the website. So how we are different from the other job portals like Naukri, LinkedIn, etc. is there are a lot of MNCs who do not put their openings out there on job sites. They only put it in their career sites. So we have a dedicated team who will try to collate all of these job openings from career sites and from all of these job portals and put it into one, which is our career site. So moving forward, when you're looking out for jobs, do not forget to visit our career site as well, which is already live on our website. Now, moving on to the last point under course highlights, let's say that there are 1 or 2 days that you don't get a chance to join our live sessions. You will not have to worry. These live sessions are going to be recorded. And another amazing info is that these recordings will be available to you lifetime. You'll have lifetime access to these recordings, even once the course ends. Right. Now, like you all know, today is the demo session. We will also have 1 week free sessions post this. The class timings will be Monday to Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. IST. And the session link and the timing will be the same. We will be giving you the session link on mail and WhatsApp. So you don't have to worry. The links will be provided to you before the live session happens. Right, this is just a course overview for you all from the start till the end. So like we already know, today is the demo session, which will be followed by 1 week free access. From day 5, we will start the real-time project experience for you all. We'll kickstart the real-time projects. Now, from the second month, so for 2 months, it's going to be dedicated only to the topic, the technical skills, the real-time project, etc. From the second month, like I mentioned, that's when Krishna will come. She will help you all out with mock interviews, how to build your resumes. We'll check your ATS scores, all of that. And moving forward from the second month, it is going to be a mix of mock interviews, resumes, and your project as well. Your project that's ongoing from the beginning. Now, post 3.5 months, we will complete the real-time projects. And another thing you need to remember, the Q&A and the recording, like the amazing factor is that it's going to be there lifetime. So even after the course, you can come back to us anytime when it comes to any questions that you have, technical related, skill related, and also you can get back to these recorded sessions as well. Now, certificates. So we are going to be providing a few certificates. One is the course completion certificate, like it's just what do you say? It adds value to your resume. So when somebody checks that you've done a certification in DevOps, it's like a value addition for your resume. So we will be providing all of you with course completion certificate once the course is done. And also we will be providing internship certificate who completes the stipulated requirements. Right. Just another very important information is that we have a WhatsApp community for the batch where we will be putting all the major updates and the batch updates. And I request Vignesh to maybe keep the screen open for around a minute. All of you can scan it quickly and join the community as soon as possible to get all updates, any important information during the batch, etc. So, Vignesh, maybe we can keep this open for around a few seconds, and I request all of you to join the community right away. All right. I hope all of you have scanned this QR, but don't worry. If at all you guys are not able to scan the QR, I'll maybe our team can send it across to you as well. That wouldn't be an issue. But yeah, I hope all of you have a very insightful 3.5 months moving forward. And yes, all the best, all of you all. Over to you, Raghu.
Yeah, just give me a minute. Thanks, Aswati and Vignesh. Hello, everyone. So today we are going to have a small agenda to understand what are the things that were there before DevOps and how this particular DevOps has been evolved, and what are the tools that we are going to learn over here in this particular training is what we'll be covering majorly. And end of the session, we'll also go through, if we have any sort of questions, please hold till end of the session. So we'll take time and we'll answer each and everyone's query in detail, by the way. So just allow us maybe next 30-35 minutes. Allow me to go through, setting up the context about what is the things about, history of DevOps and how this came into picture and all. And also we'll discuss like what are the things that you'll learn, and from there we'll go for queries. And once again, a warm welcome to everyone. So myself is Raghu, and whoever maybe not have not joined a few minutes earlier. So myself is Raghu, and I have close to 16 years of experience, and I have close to 13 plus years of experience in training, teaching on different technologies, by the way. So at least we have completed 6,500 students just on DevOps from the past decade. And my experience comes from enterprise organizations, so which I work for the things at a scale. That means like, big companies especially. So because the process becomes challenge in the big organizations. And I come from that experience. So that experience would eventually, I feel, will help you in answering your questions better. And that experience definitely would have helped in making the curriculum, course curriculum better. Okay. And I'm a still working guy. So that's about myself. And to start with, I am, let's say, let's go into understand this. So first of all, we want to get a job, by the way, right? End of the day, the goal is job. Now, who is providing us a job, by the way? What is the market who is giving us the jobs? So let's understand from there. And the market which we are going to get the jobs is basically majority is the SDLC, software development lifecycle, whoever makes the softwares. Now the software made by a product-based company. For an example, if you take a company called as a Microsoft or Oracle or IBM, okay. So these companies make software, and those guys is a product-based companies. And whereas there are certain companies who also makes products, but for their business purpose. So for an example, you take Mercedes-Benz, so they develop their own software for their business purpose, by the way. And probably you take JP Morgan as a bank, okay, they will make their own software. Maybe you take airlines, by the way, so probably Emirates or Southwest Airlines, so they make their own software for their business to run, right? So those are guys also makes the software. So not only the product based companies who makes the products, and along with that, the business generating or business running companies also will make their own software. And doesn't really matter which side you are, so you are going to make the software, and in that particular area you're going to get the job, by the way. Now in that particular area, especially if you talk about, so the market of today's trend is basically is a web-based market. So that means either your application is running on a web browser, or you're actually installing the same application on their mobile, by the way, right? So these are the two businesses which is majorly running, right? Now, so irrespective of whether it is a mobile or a web, so end of the day, behind the tech is still same. So only the interface is changing, the mobile app or the web app. So major business you need to understand is happening towards web-based applications. Now these web-based applications are being developed in two ways. One is monolith and the other one is microservices. And irrespective of whether it is a monolith or microservices, enterprise organizations like big companies will have many services, by the way. Okay. And services at what scale? Okay. So we're talking about the services at a scale we're talking about is hundreds and thousands. For an example, if you are using Netflix, and the Netflix architecture, if you ask for, so the Netflix, you're getting an answer from the Google is Netflix uses over 1,000 microservices to power up the whole business, by the way. Not only just your web-based application I'm talking about to play the movie, and along with that, so there are some business layer, which is some backend team and all. Upstream will be there for everything, by the way. So it is 1,000 plus microservices. And the same thing, the answer you're getting it from Twitter is 1,200 services. And if you take Uber, you're getting some 2,200 critical services they're talking about. So just to give you the, so a ride, by the way. So behind the scene, that is what we're talking about. And not only these, by the way, so which is web interface based applications. And if you look back, or if you look at the other industry also, like especially the Mercedes-Benz, so Mercedes-Benz actually running 900 Kubernetes clusters to power up their certain things, by the way. So to power up their manufacturing, to power up their data collection, data analytics, okay, whatever it is, they're running 900 Kubernetes clusters to power up their infrastructure. So the scale we're talking about is little serious, right? So that means like when you actually go and work on a big projects, things are going to be a bit massive. So let's remember this particular point. We'll come back on this particular point once again, but you need to understand the services, whatever it is being developed, whether it is a monolith or microservices. Monolith means it is developed as one big piece. Microservice means it just made it as small pieces and attached together to work together. Okay. So irrespective of how it is being developed, okay, the services is at a scale, by the way. Now, how these particular big services actually gets, okay, developed, by the way. So now how do we develop such big projects? If you understand the organizations, and the big projects will be developed either of the methodologies, or there is some software methodologies how to reach your goal or how to develop, by the way. And that methodology is one is waterfall model and agile model. Both models are still running, and waterfall model, especially you will see in some companies who makes the operating systems, especially like Windows or Mac OS. Okay, these guys may go fall under waterfall model. when we say waterfall model, so they spend a lot of time on development, and so they'll take a long time to release a big version, by the way, right? And after that they'll release some patches and all. Okay, that is going on agile perspective. Okay, so that means like if you take an operating system, so they are somewhere in between waterfall and agile. They are not completely agile, they're not completely waterfall, because you'll get a one big update, one big OS update, and after that you always get small updates, right? So that means they're doing it in an agile way. But waterfall is something like waterfall, if you understand, by the way, so you go step by step, by the way. You gather all the requirements, you design how the OS should look like and all those things, and finally does some development and goes into the testing, and finally get into the maintenance. That means release to the customers and maintain it. Okay, but the agile is not something like this. Agile is super fast. That means like waterfall is taking a 6 months to make a big change, but whereas agile is actually coming and saying that you can do it in a week or time, or even a lot of companies will. Some of the companies, I wouldn't say a lot, some of the companies would release even so couple of releases in a day itself, right? So let's get with the teams which is involved in this particular waterfall model development or a methodology, by the way. So there is a business analyst who is going to collect the requirements. So business analyst will have a context of the business. So for example, if I'm making an application for a let's say banking, now I will have a context as a business analyst that so who are the parties involved who are the parties which is involved in doing doing a, let's say, a bank transaction. So what all the systems to be there, and of course there'll be a POs, by the way, product owners, and those guys and business analysts. So they will come up with the requirements, by the way. Okay, so before to the business analyst, there will be always a POs. Okay, project owner. Okay, so product owner, whatever it is, so those people will be there, and from them, discussing with them, the business analyst will try to convert that particular business text on context towards the technical things. Okay, converts those particular things into technical things, and architects will be there who actually going to design the things. So we're talking about the different stages here only. So this is a waterfall model, a typical so requirements, design, and this thing. So the BS will be there, architects will be there, senior developers are usually acts as a developers, acts as an architects, and the developers will be there, and the QA people will be there for testing the product. And finally it comes to the, okay, so we're talking about what? We're talking about a web-based application. If I want to serve a web-based application, so what all the things which is required, let me put it in a diagrammatic way. So I should be having a data center, right? A data center is needed. So that's where data DC team will come into picture. So these guys will have, so maintaining the data center. And if you are interested in, so how a DC operates and all, I have seen recently one video. You can go with that also, which is in India. You can go for your TOW data center. So which is okay. So which is scaled vertically, by the way. Okay. So maybe go through this particular video, so you will get an understanding of how a data center operates, and what are the things. So this is the first video I'm talking about. So go through that and you will understand so how these guys actually vertically scale the data center. So usually we'll scale horizontally, like so like you go you go increase the geographical space, by the way. Okay, but whereas these guys went on multi floors and did that, and that will be in the some center of the city, by the way. So how they were doing it and things like that. So this has been completely discussed. So you can go through that. Okay, so maybe this video also helps you, by the way. Okay, so just understand, like who are this DC time. If you want to understand that, probably it will help you. Now after the data is inside the data center, okay, so I'll be keeping one server because I want to run my application. So I'll be purchasing one server and keep the server there, right? So I'll be having a server. And after that, so what we'll be doing is we'll be going with, so this operating system, sorry, the server requires an operating system, isn't it? So that's where I'll be going with an operating system on top of the server. So like this is how our OS will come. Now to do the OS, by the way, so then the OS team will come into picture. So this is a OS team. So DC team will maintain the server, let's say, a physical part of it, and the OS will be coming in, and the team which is involved is, so there's a team involved for this, which is a OS team to do that. Now, once the OS is ready, by the way, so what they will do is there's a middleware team come into picture. Okay, middleware team is the one who is actually going to maintain the application. Whoever maintains the application, middleware team, we can call this way, middleware team will come into picture, who will deploy the application. Now, where is our customer? So the customer is outside, by the way. So somewhere the customer is, outside of the data center, right? So they want to access our application. So then that means they wanted to access this application. They can't directly access that. So that means there is some sort of a networking layer will come into picture. So there is a network, and a network team will come into picture. So there may be many devices which is involved in that. Maybe a modem, maybe a router, maybe a switch, okay, a load balancer, a firewall. All those devices it will cross. It's not like one thing. Okay, there'll be multi devices on the network. So at least 7-8 types of devices will be there, and crosses that and reaches your server. Okay, so finally it comes to via networking tape. The next is, and the next one here is, so once you got the network team, so that means you are good, by the way. So the customer is accessing our application, but you'll not be done yet, because every application requires a database. So that's where we require some database also. So that means that the same thing will be there. And now this actually some other server is running DB, and there is a DB team will be involved to run the databases. There's a DB team which is involved to run the database. So that means you see how many teams are coming into picture: DC team, OS team, middleware team, network team, DB team. Okay. Now we are not done yet, by the way. So now the DB is, the database is very important, and the data will be stored in a appropriate places. So that's where the storage team will come into picture and maintaining the storage. So this is also a team that comes into picture. Okay. Now the DB and all will store in the storage, and you're not done yet, by the way. So then, because to store the storage in a proper devices for a long-term requirement, so you'll be having a backup devices and the backup team. So the storage will be backed up, by the way, properly. And also sometimes the DBS will try to put the backups here, okay, which is a very important data. Now there is another teams coming into picture. Now you see this, to run your, power up your infrastructure. So there are many teams that is coming into picture. All right. So that is the challenge we're talking about, basically that is the process we're talking about. So here, to release an application, so these are the many teams which is involved. And along with that, there'll be a AppSec, InfoSec, security team will be there. Okay, so security is a very important concern, because when the application is exposed to the outside world, so this is very, very important one. So that team also comes into picture. And finally, the application is released. There will be a monitoring team who is going to monitor our application. So then usually the L1 support and all will be there for live application. So this is the typical team that is involved in the waterfall model. Okay. Now our major question is, okay, we understand the process of making the product, by the way, and how to host it and how to get it access from the outside world. But where is this DevOps is actually coming from, right? What is this DevOps comes in this particular whole process? So the thing you need to understand here is, so the whole thing over here, okay, now is being replaced by technology. Now a lot of engineers is being replaced by the technology. And what is the technology who is replacing majorly is, it actually is the cloud, by the way, the middleware, okay, the middleware, OS, storage, backup network, DC, DBS, all these particular things, most of the things are coming as a cloud offerings. Okay. Now, what you will be doing is, as a DevOps engineer, as a new generation engineer, what you're going to do is you're going to deal with all those particular things in a cloud, by the way. Okay. So that is the major thing that you will be taking care of. And along with that, there's a security also coming into picture in nowadays. Okay. Security also we're trying to slowly bring into the process, okay, in process of releasing the application. So that's where the DevSecOps, we can call it up, by the way. The security also always the context in releasing the application. So it is going to get a security clearance as well to release an application. So that's where the DevSecOps is coming into picture. So now typically as a DevOps engineer, Okay, you'll be dealing with the microservices of today's world. The development is majorly happening with the microservices, or dealing with the microservices, dealing with the cloud. And if your role is also is a part of AppSec, dealing with security as well, you'll be calling it as DevSecOps engineer. As simple as that. Okay, so this is a whole process to ensure the process of the application release of the application happens much smoother. Okay, now if you go back and okay, so look at what is the roles and responsibilities of a DevOps engineer. So you would see that as managing the infrastructure. So because the cloud is a major one, like previously all the roles was gone and cloud is dealing with that. At least someone should be there to manage the cloud. So dealing with the infrastructure and writing that through code, by the way. So when we talk about dealing the infrastructure, it is not manual. Okay, not going to the UI, click on that and doing the job. No, it's completely automated. So that's where managing infrastructure through code, IAC, is one of your major role. And how do you ensure you release your application with CI/CD? We call it as CI/CD. There's another vertical. It's called continuous integration and continuous delivery. Okay, so CI/CD. So how you need to ensure your application is releasing smoothly, CI/CD. And along with that, your major role is to do everything automated, by the way. So every task of the release process, you need to ensure you're going to do through automation. So this is what is the typical roles and responsibilities of a DevOps engineer. Okay, so the next is, that's about the second part of the agenda. So what is this DevOps and all, right? So the next part to that is our major part, by the way. So which is what are the tools that you're going to learn here? Okay, and what are the tools I'm supposed to teach? The tool you learn here is it's up to today's market requirement, right? So you're learning a tool. Okay, so going to, it's a decade back old one. So let's say, like, so people started giving less priority a decade back, and you're learning today, it doesn't make sense. So whatever you're learning, by the way, so should support your career going forward, isn't it? And also it applies to me as well. Look, if I am actually trying to teach something, maybe I'm working in one project, I know something in what's going on in my project, I can teach you my project things as an example. Or maybe, like, let's say some other person who is teaching, let's say he's working in some other project. Now he will do it in a little bit different way, and he teach about his things. So that's where, if you look at the curriculum perspective, when you actually compare the curriculum of two trainers, by the way, it's always some different will come into picture. Okay, because everyone have their own opinion, because they have seen the same world in their own eyes, by the way, right? So it's completely different. So that's where, so this course, okay, preparing the content is a big challenge even for the trainers, because maybe let's say one guy is working for a product based company, his knowledge is much limited, by the way. Why? Because he knows about his company and his product only. Now what is happening outside of the world is maybe a bit difficult. Maybe person like me, by the way, who works in a consulting firm, okay, maybe I have a reach to go to some other projects and all, but still I have a limitation to reach to only certain projects, not all the projects running by the company. Okay, I also have a limitation. Now in this particular limited world, how do you attain the the reality, by the way, isn't it? So it's a big challenge, and that challenge is being addressed by roadmap dataset. It's a community. So this community will help us in going and learning the things in a much efficient way, because they provide the roadmaps. Now, if you go to the roadmap dataset, this is the website, and this is almost the 7th most started project in the GitHub. Okay, it was a 6th project some time back, and recently I think one project took over and became again 7th place. So which is almost like okay, so close to 300k stars on GitHub, by the way. And whereas so 26,000 community, 26,000 community members are there. Now these guys actually, okay, so as a community, so they will be providing the roadmaps to the people who want to become something, and out of that, DevOps is one of that. So you can see this, DevOps is one of that. Now what we are actually doing is, now I'm completely removed my burden, and I can simply rely on this particular community, because these are NGOs. They're not making any revenue and all, so they're just trying to contribute. If someone want to become something, so what is the best path to pick it up? Okay, and that's where the roadmap or DevOps is coming in. Roadmap.sh is coming into picture, and DevOps is one of that. Okay, so here is the thing that they're telling. So now we are going to cover each and every vertical, whatever it is being shown here. Now each and every vertical comes in a yellow page, or yellow color, by the way, yellow tab. And inside that, they will suggest you certain things. Now what we are doing is, we are cherry picking from one of these, by the way. We are cherry picking one of these from here, and we are keeping that in a resume, and we are delivering that. Now, while cherry picking, basically our experience would come into picture a little bit. Okay. So now out of Python and Go, so we'll be picking up Python because Python has a little bit more landscape than Go language. Okay. In terms of automation. So that's where Python. So that's where our experience will apply, and we'll be covering each and every vertical, by the way. Okay. Now the next one is operating system. Operating system, these guys telling you can go for Ubuntu or RHEL. You learn, because this is a learning perspective. Now I come from a working perspective, right? So I come from a working perspective. I know that, Red Hat is the enterprise one, which is widely used, not the Ubuntu. I'll not teach you Ubuntu, because you go into tomorrow you go for an interview and say that, I'm doing everything on Ubuntu. There's a lot of questions raised. How are you maintaining the security? If an issue comes, how do you get it fixed? And a lot of challenges will come into the real world, by the way. So training purpose, everything is a happy path. Okay. That's where operating system we pick up RHEL. Okay. Like that, so while picking it up, we'll just try to apply our experience and domain knowledge, and we'll be doing it. So likewise, each and every vertical has been picked up, and we are delivering that particular thing. So, and just consolidating everything. So we made our own roadmap, and that comes in this particular path. So we are going to start with the Linux, and we're going to start with the project, and the project, whatever we start, is having a lot of problems. Okay. Those particular problems, we start one by one. We solve them one by one, solving one by one, and we'll be, dealing with the automation, and we kind of make it in a better way. All right. And after that, we'll look at towards modernization of the application. So that's where the containerization will happen. Okay. Once the application is also containerized and deployed, and it is being deployed, so you will see, okay, that, you lack insight inside that particular project. And that's where we bring in monitoring, and we'll gain the insights in that particular project. Okay. And also we are going to do is, so once the monitoring is there, application, everything is there, everything platform is ready, then we start delivering the applications into that particular platform. Okay. Delivery also, we'll try to do that in a appropriate way. So for an example, so like earlier Ashita was introducing, so we are actually doing a multi environment kind of a thing. So then probably you can just take a look here. So what we are going to do is, we're going to have a pipelines will ensure. Okay. So we are actually go into the, so we start from deploying to the dev environment, after that QA environment, after that UAT stage environment, and finally comes to the production. Some checks fails or whatever it is. It is failing in the production. So what is that and all? So we'll come to know everything. So we're already gaining the insights here. We'll come to know everything over here. So that's where if I go and show the dashboards, like what are the failures and all and things like that, we'll come to know. Okay. So we'll enable monitoring. And these monitoring dashboards will provide a little bit insights to us. There is dashboards. Yeah. So something like this. So we'll gain the insights. We'll understand. So what's going on with the application. We'll keep on the live load, and while the load is running. Okay. So we'll try to put some sort of a CI/CD, and on that time we'll see that, so what is happening. Okay. We'll get some errors. We'll get some lot of errors. We'll solve, and we'll come close to near errors, close to nearby. Okay. Close to near zero. So that's where we are going to deal that particular project with a highly scalable, highly available, highly securable application. So we are going to deal with all the aspects of product delivery, by the way, or product deployment. Okay. We do the CI/CD, and finally, okay. So until here, you'll not much bother about the security. So then we'll cover at the security aspect, all those particular things, and we'll be completing our training, by the way. Okay, this is how it is. And along this particular time, so it is going to be AWS will always be as a backbone. That means everything runs on AWS, either our tools or services of Amazon, everything is on Amazon. So that is what is our roadmap towards to that. So that covers the third part of the agenda. And before taking any Q&As from any one of you, I would like to just mention a couple of other things as well. So we are going to have a GitHub discussions. Okay. And so over here, we will discuss. If you have any questions, you can post your question and you can discuss. Okay. And also you have a lab query session, like I mentioned earlier, again, 8-hour window will be there daily. Every day it will be there. And me and my team will help you in, answering your questions. So during the training, 1.5 hour of time, you will not get much questions. Honestly, you will not get questions. Okay. Because the first time you are listening about it, you never tried about it. Okay. You don't have any thoughts about it as well. Right. So that's where you'll not get much questions on the, during the live session. But after the live session, you start practicing. When you start practicing, you start seeing the real thoughts, by the way. You are applying your own thoughts. And while applying the thoughts, then you start seeing it logically, what is the gap, by the way. So then that's where you will get the real questions from yourself. And those particular questions will be answered here. And as well as, if you are, stuck in any of the practice, by the way, so we'll help you in there. So that is what it is. And some customized lab setup, that's okay. So you'll see anyhow. That's not a big thing, but something we'll be providing to accelerate your learning in a much better way. And the next one is a project, by the way. So we didn't talk about the project. So the project is also, we're going to talk about big project. Because I'm stressing this particular project thing. Why? Because I usually hear this comment from many people saying that, so, hey, you're teaching only one project, but whereas some XYZ trainers are there, so they're teaching 4 or 5 projects. Okay, things like that. Okay. So, but I just would like to tell my version, by the way. So I would say, if an engineer is there, if an engineer, whoever has, constructed 150-floor building, okay, and versus a person who has completed, let's say, 10 projects, maybe those are just 1 or 2 floors. Okay. Now, if you look at the quantity wise, okay, on the number of projects, who wins is that guy is the guy who wins it. But if I quantify the same thing at the technical knowledge, I will say that, the 50-floor building constructed engineer will have much knowledge than the guy who constructed a 1-floor building. Okay. So that's where who works on the big projects will have, their context is completely different with the person who works on the basic of the projects. Okay. So that is where, okay, so the project, what we are going to deal with, it comes with, so I already shown that, right? So in the microservices world, I shown you a couple of the websites which you use every day, maybe a Uber, maybe a Twitter or Netflix, day to day people are using it. You're seeing how massive they are, so things will be massive only. Like you go and try to get onto go and try to appear for a company interview, and you're telling that, your project is just one microservice and their strategies. No one would listen to you, right? Isn't it? So that's where you always has to be serious on that particular project aspect. And what we are actually going to deliver is not the 1,000 services, not the one service, but taking in between, by the way. So we are, we are giving you 11 microservices service project delivery in this particular training. Okay, end-to-end automation, no manual. So we'll clearly write a SOP in the training. Okay, so that SOP changes our landscape of the training much different. Okay, I will write an SOP. Yeah. What is the SOP? How do we run the things is what I'm going to run the SOP. So maybe just get it from the latest project, little changes. Yeah, so it's already open. So SOP, by the way, so this is what I'll write it. Now, the things you do without SOP, the things you do with SOP makes a lot difference. In lab, you have a comfort of do however the way you want. But you go into an organization, so there'll be a SOP that how do you need to operate. So there's a standard procedures will be there. And you have to align to that particular procedure. So now the procedure which I'm going to write it, in this particular training is, I mean, immediately in the starting of the training, we'll not write it. Someday we'll write it, saying that, all the automation inside the OS will be done through Ansible, because we already talked about the roles and responsibilities of a DevOps engineer. We should look everything as an automation. Okay. Now your role is telling you do everything with automation, but you're coming here and showing everything as a manual. There is no point in that, right? If my demonstration is completely on, so no automation, by the way, okay, I teach you Ansible, that's it. If I keep pull stop and go on to the next topic and show everything manual, there's no point or value that you're adding to the Ansible, isn't it? So that's where we'll take the Ansible journey, so towards to end, by the way. So that's where you look at the syllabus. That means, like, so for an example, if I take shell scripting, the shell scripting will go till end, by the way. So I don't see keep pull stop there and next topic which will come into picture, I'll not keep a pull stop of that. Wherever it is possible, I have to pick it up, or whatever my SOP is told, I'll be picking up according. Now all the infrastructure I'll be creating through Terraform. So that means I come to here, okay, I complete a Terraform here, and I come to the containerization, I show everything a completely new way. It doesn't make sense. Okay, so there is no value that you are getting it, right? So that's where the Terraform journey will continue till ending only. I mean, once you cross that one, right? So that is how we are going to write a complete clearly SOP, and all the automation, either it is Ansible or Terraform, will run through pipelines. Other SOP, all right, I'll pick up all the things through pipeline only. Okay. So the things are not there with the SOP, by the way. So the whole things looks a bit different. Things look very different, by the way, without SOP. I'm telling you. Okay, this is the major challenge, at least, I have seen in the industry, because we do interviews, every day as a part of our job. The moment we actually try to, so what we usually do is we'll go with a code pairing round. The first round, we'll give him a problem and we'll just understand how he's writing the code. And while he's writing the code, he's logging into the server, opening the VA editor and editing the code, is gone, by the way. He doesn't, in the person who is working really, by the way, he won't do the job. Okay. So the person, whoever works it, by the way, so they will try to run the code locally. Okay. So maybe set up some sort of a pipeline, or at least run the automation, by the way. They don't go onto the server directly manually, change the things. They won't do that. So if they are doing that, by the way, I don't consider them as a serious guys. They're not in the right place. So there are small things which will make you judge. They will judge you from that small things, by the way. So that's where, okay, in company, whatever you do, you have to do the same thing here. And that's where our project is actually going to be a big project. And that big project brings the complexity, okay, because you are dealing with an SOP and a big project. Okay, things go a bit extended only. Okay, that's what I wanted to mention. And like as already mentioned, it's a lifetime access and resume prep and mock and all. So the organizers will take care. You don't bother about that. So those are all the things as a part of training you will be getting. Okay. So that completes the agenda which I wanted to talk about this particular training. And at last, QAs. So in the QA session, by the way, not QA session, sorry. In this QA time, you can always raise your hand. I'll come to you one by one. Okay. You'll not find an option to unmute and talk. So please raise your hand just to avoid the noise. We'll just go one by one. Please click on raise hand and just wait for your time. I'll come to you and I'll talk to you. Okay. And the training starts from tomorrow, and the timings will be morning 7:30 to 9 o'clock if you are in India. And if you are in USA, by the way, so it is going to be September 22nd, that is tomorrow. It is 10 p.m. Eastern time. Maybe if you are in Central, maybe 9 p.m. Okay. All right. So that's all I have from my side. So probably if you have any questions, please raise your hand. I'm coming. Yes, Shrikant. Unable to hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, go ahead.
So here you mentioned like the training start time is like 7:30 to 9:30, right?
7:30 to 9.
7:30 to 9. I have seen the earlier, like it was showing 7:30 to 9 p.m. I guess. That might be query section, I think, for the remaining time.
The query session timings I didn't publish anywhere. So maybe it's AM only. You might have overlooked and it is PM. It is AM only. Any other question?
No, I don't know.
All right.
Hi, Ravi.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is the project that you are going to cover in this training? Means, what is the name of that project?
Names does not matter, right? So
Yes.
technicalities matter for us end of the day. So it's a microservice project which has Angular and which has Node.js, Java is there, Golang is there, Python is there. All the types of microservices are there.
Only one project you are going to cover.
Yeah, one big project.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Hi, Uday here.
Yeah.
I have, one question. These days we are listening a lot about AI, right? Artificial intelligence and stuff. Uh, will there be any impact on the current roles? If there is, will there be any impact?
Like, what do you think? Let's say if I put the same question to you, what
Uh,
do you
I don't know. That is the reason I'm asking.
generally, right? Like, I mean, so you're talking about something that means knowing it's something only you're talking, right? What is that something you're thinking?
Probably, I feel maybe the job of an engineer may become easier using
Easier or
the
zero?
tools. Sorry?
No, you're saying job will become easier or job will become zero. No jobs. What is that you're saying? Thinking.
I mean, will there be less opportunities for people?
I mean, have you seen so far, let's say AI has taken any job or created jobs?
Of course, it has created jobs.
Then your statement is contrast, right?
Yeah. Okay. All right. And can you discuss about the prerequisites once? I mean, in case if we need to have any skills before joining the course.
Yeah. No need actually. So we'll be teaching from scratch only. No worry on that particular part. But whatever is being taught, you should learn about it.
Okay.
Yeah. But the AI perspective, by the way, so for the question, let me tell my version. So basically, I don't think so. It will cut down any jobs.
Okay.
It will transform the jobs. You should
Okay.
understand that. There's a difference for that.
Right.
Now, if I go back 25 years back, maybe I go to a bank, there is a person who is writing on the book. Okay. The ledger.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, if I go, it is digital. Okay.
Yes.
So 25 years back, there was always a lot of riots in India itself, by the way. So our protests in India saying that, computer will kill the job. I don't think so. Okay. It's scaled very well.
Right.
Okay. So AI also is something that is going to empower you. Okay. As long as you're not empowering yourself or transforming yourself, of course, someone will kill the job, right? So some days, 100 years back, a bullet, so a ox cart or maybe a laborer doing the physical work. Now machine is doing it. Now the machines are being operated by persons. Now if the person is not transforming to how to manage the machine, he will lose the things. Right. So you should always be transforming towards to the technology, by the way. So you should be adopting the AI wherever it is going on, whatever the benefits it is giving, you should adopt and implement in your role, and you can move on. So I don't think so it will cut down the jobs, whereas it will change the shape of the jobs, transform. Now we worked in a world where the Google doesn't exist or Stack Overflow doesn't exist. Okay. When I started my career, there was no Stack Overflow. Okay. Finding the information is a very challenge that time. Okay. So, but we used to have problems. We used to solve them. So study it hours and hours of documentation. We study and we remember, we implement it. Now, simply I get a problem. I type it in Google Stack Overflow. Someone already solved it and getting it. I'm happy, right?
Right.
So,
Right.
okay, so things will change. It will ease your job. At the same time, you will lose a job as well, as long as you're reluctant to the change.
Oh,
So let's keep that.
and so the duration will be for 3.5 months, right?
Yeah, 3.5 months.
And the classes will be from Monday to Friday?
Yeah, Monday to Friday.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Raghu,
Yeah.
hi Raghu. Raghu, I have regarding the AI. Regarding because today asked and you also given response for the AI, right? Yes, some based on AI is nowadays is help. Uh, I mean, it is very useful for working also. So if there is some queries we have, we just put it in AI and then it's giving some response. So some colleagues, most of the colleagues, I mean, I recently faced one some queries like rejects things. When I put those rejects query in the AI, is given exact details what I record. So those things are and all. It was very useful regarding the AI. And second part is I want to know what is about Ansible and Python scripting. I was little bit I'm not able to understand. Can you explain the second part?
First of all, do you know the meaning of AI, by the way? Because with the example you compared is not AI job, by the way. That's a GPT job. So that means GPT is trained with a lot of data. Okay.
Hmm.
So, I mean, the Google is trained with a lot of data. You search. Why you didn't call Google as AI? Google search engine as AI. Why you did
It's a
not call?
search in. It's a search in.
I mean, why you didn't call that as an AI? Or all these years, why you
Okay.
did not felt it as AI?
Okay. As per my understanding, when you if you query in Google, there will be only certain things will be given. But in Chat GPT, if you want to if you query the like rejects, it will give the almost all the information. So in Google search you have to, it will give the certain links only, but in Chat GPT it will give almost all the informations without going to another one pages or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
That's
Let me
that's my
also.
understand.
No, that is there's a wrong perception, right? So Google is dealing with the raw data, by the way. The Google is finding out some information on the some web pages, which is a raw information, fetching you the raw information and giving you. There's a Google version of fetching you the data. Now what you're thinking AI is nothing but it is basically, now what is you're considering is, or what GPT is been doing is, now you already have the raw data, now you're training on top of that. And if any question is asked in any other direction, so based on this particular understanding, it can provide you an answer. So that's a GPT thing, by the way. It's a trained model. It's not a proper AI, by the way.
Okay.
Okay. AI means
Mm.
what, by the way? So now AI means now let's say you go to the AI and say that, I want to reach to the moon in 2 minutes. Give me the protocol. Okay. So now something which is not being done, it is being developed by AI and it is given is something that you need to understand. So what you are comparing is a data trained one, which is completely not considered as a AI, or it may be being kept under
Okay.
that section you are calling it. I don't know, but I don't consider that as A. A means artificial. I means intelligence. I don't consider that as an artificial intelligence. It's only a data trained model. Okay. Right.
Okay. Which
So what
means
is intelligence? Now you're going on the left side of the road. Now let's say you identify some object and you take so you take an indicator and go on to that. That is intelligence you're applying, right? There's a roadblock, and now let's say you're doing that is basically is a kind of, let's say I'm giving a bad example, but still that's an intelligence. Okay. So that is not what is being done. That is also being done, and that is okay. So that is also something on the data points, by the way. I mean to say, like, I think I just put it in a different way, but yeah, you need to understand. So the data got trained and it is being responding, which is not the AI you should consider exactly. It's just a GPT thing, by the way. Now your company data, you simply ask to train and you ask for the information, you'll get it. Okay. So that's a different type of a programming way how to train the data based on the data, by the way. So that's how it is. Maybe you can consider some part of I mean, just don't sorry, I'm just giving bits and pieces of the answers, but my whole context is, okay, first of all, understand what is the meaning of AI before understanding, taking from the examples, like what it does, what it can capable of, all those particular things. Talk about the capabilities rather than the simple, you found out something fantasy and you don't call it as AI, because it will
This
not look well. Okay. So
okay. Maybe this is a famous. I'm not the only guy. Maybe other colleagues also
it's simple English
understand.
only. First, let's understand English. What is artificial? What is intelligence? If you know these particular two meanings, then probably you combine those things. And it's a human intelligence we talk about, right? Now, let's say there is a monkey and there's a human being. Now, monkey, how it behaves, and human it behaves. There's only a difference is intelligence, right? So that's how it is. So now you look at a normal program and how you look at a, like, AI program, how it will be the different. And the different you already told. Now normal Google engine is not giving me that. A GPT is giving me this kind of information, but that's not the limit I'm talking about, or that's a very small version of AI is what I'm trying to tell. Let's not put that as an AI. Coming to the second question, by the way. So, I mean, like, let's say those are help you to do the automation. So the tools, whatever it is you mentioned. Ansible, you told. What is another tool?
Python scripting.
Those are things for automation. You need to automate your work, by the way. So for that, tools are required, and these are the tools we are going to do. I'm not able to hear.
Yeah, I understand. I mean, I little bit getting your answer. Okay, but in industry basis, whether both Ansible and Python will be used, what will be the priority in this? Like to know. Hello.
Every problem has their own way of dealing with that, by the way, right? So let's go to the medical world, by the way. Now, for every for an example, for every disease you get a Dolo 650 can't be helpful, right? Now you're looking from the solution perspective. Is Dolo 650 a solution for everything? No. Okay. Now Ansible is a solution for everything? No. Python is a solution for everything? No. You understand the problem, depends upon the nature of the problem you need to deal with, how you solutionize it. Okay. So Python and Ansible, okay, deals with different type of problems. And also there is a relation between them. Ansible is completely developed on Python only. Okay. That means you go to a larger extent. And that means you need to develop your own Ansible modules. You have to write a Python code for Ansible to work. Okay. But anyhow, those are two different things just for a beginner to start.
Okay, Raghu. Thanks. Thanks for a long explanation.
Yeah. Ram, not able to hear you. People raise the hand and gone. Chaitanya.
Hi, Raghu. Good morning.
Yeah.
I have two questions here. The first one is I have computer background as my master's, and then post which I was not able to do any software job. I'm currently into operations, the business operations, and have almost like 12 years of experience. I want to shift the industry now from the business operations perspective to the IT or the software. That's why I want to try and learn DevOps now. My question to you is like, even though I have a little knowledge on the basics of the coding, but I'm not very well equipped with coding, right? I mean, when I attended this demo, I understand that Python and something else should be learned, and we need to code that. But I do not have so much knowledge on that. So, will I be able to prosper, or will I be able to understand this DevOps going forward, because it's a 3.5 months course. So that I wanted to learn, and that's the first question. And my second question is, I also see that you guys are providing job assistance, or I think someone by name Krishna Veni. I think she would be contacting us probably after 2 months. So when it comes to job assistance, since I'm into non-IT background, what would be my perspective regarding IT job, and how do you think I can prosper here? So these are my two questions. Thank you.
Even before answering your first question, I'll go with the second question, by the way. So,
Yeah.
I mean, let me tell you a honest version of it.
Mm.
So, don't ask about your career choice to that selling persons, by the way, whoever is selling the course.
Mm.
You decide. Okay. You talk to your well-wishers, you talk to your friends, okay, you apply your thoughts. Okay. You come with a version that this suits me or not. Okay.
Yeah.
Because now you go to someone and say that, hey, this is, can I take it up? Whoever is selling the course. Now you go to a shop and say that is a good mall. He'll say, yes, it is a good
Yeah, definitely. They will say
mall.
yes.
So that's where, okay,
I
you
get it.
take your efforts and think about it. Okay. Whether this is really suits for me. Okay.
Mm.
Then you take it up and you approach us, by the way, I want to take this, then we'll help you with the knowledge. Okay. And rest of the things, anyhow, once you already took the step, by the way, the rest of the things will get aligned, by the way. So whatever it is, like whether it is, your past experience sorted out to this particular one, everything will go in their own path. Okay.
Yeah.
Not an issue. But the taking up the step, by the way, you don't get onto the, you then get to the, opinions to the consultancies or institutes, by the way. Don't do that. My personal suggestion on that. Okay.
I get it. Thanks for that. But I already taken this step. That's why I'm attending this demo. So that's the reason, I wanted to go what's next on the list. So that is
so the next is immediate thing is, now whether you come with other background, you come with XYZ background, does not really matter. You want to appear for an interview. Okay. What's the very important thing is knowledge.
Yeah.
Okay. So now the major work, actually, this again, I'm calling it out not on behalf of you in general, by the way. So a lot of people actually is kind of, okay. So, let's say now rather than spending 100 hours on learning, they'll spend 100 hours on applying for a job, by the way. Okay. Whereas spending the minimal time on the learning, let's say they'll learn minimal doing and apply for 100 jobs. I don't know how it will work out, and how logically people are thinking, I'm really not sure. But if I were to do that, I'll do maximum spending on the learning and I'll apply one job and it will be mine.
Sure.
Ideally, right? So that has to be the way. You should prepare, like, the opportunity you get it, you should get it. So to that extent, you have to take it up. So that's where, so please spend the maximum effort on the learning prospect. The rest, everything is small things will sort it out.
Yeah. Okay. So you mean that prior coding experience is not a mandate for this?
Yeah. Coding is very simple, by the way. Okay. The coding challenge comes into people's mind because of their the logical thinking, right? In code, what do you write, by the way? Okay, you write a logical step. Okay. So the logical step is, okay, for an example, if you go to the kitchen and you ask your mom what is the logical steps to prepare a curry, by the way, they'll tell her this is how you chop and steps, maybe 10 steps. And you want to automate it, by the way, the 10 steps only you can automate it. Okay. Knowing the 10 steps is very important. So that's how, in IT, you get paid less. Whereas the business people will get 10x, 100x, more than you, right? So your CTO will get millions of dollars of pay while you get only, hundreds of dollars, not thousands of dollars of pay, right? So why? Because it's basically they have the more business context or the context. They are not writing the code, by the code is very small thing. Anyone can do the code, but that things is not someone can do it. The more you gain the context, coding is very simple thing. People are looking at the wrong context. Okay. The moment you know the more and more what to do, automating is very simple. I'll show you anyhow practically in the training, how it will go, like, gaining the more context, how automation, how it will become simple. You simply tell automation, taking the help of automation, I need this to be done, and it will do for you.
Yeah.
That you write it in a code form. The requirement is bigger, more the code will come. Requirement is smaller, less the code will come. As simple as.
Yeah. Got it. Got it. And one last question. Sorry, I'm taking your time. From tomorrow you have the actual session starts from 7:30 a.m. So is there any other this session which is in the evening which you will be leading? Anything that's coming up?
Evenings, I'm a working guy, so
Okay.
I can only teach and go to office, but when I'll come back, I don't know.
Okay.
So
Okay.
evenings, I'm not doing it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Thanks, Raghu. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, hi Raghu.
Yeah. Yeah.
Raghu, you said initially you're going to walk through the project, right? So when are we creating that project? Like end of the uh, like course, or on beginning day we are creating the project and you are going through uh, each technology and the same thing in the project, or
No, this is the roadmap. If you are seeing my screen, so this is the roadmap. So we start with the Linux. In the second week itself, we'll start immediately the project.
okay. So when you said when we're creating project, then we are going with the Python scripting and Ansible or Docker. So we are implementing these technologies on that project, right?
Correct. Correct. Yes.
Oh, that's great. Thanks, Raghu. And one more thing, you said like it is completely on AWS. So is there any option or possibility will you able to explain Azure service as well, so that we can compare like this is happening in Azure and this is happening in AWS. So
Yeah.
we'll get an idea if.
Our Azure batch will start sometime in November, mid of November. It might start. But that's all
Okay.
just on Azure, no AWS there.
Oh, that's fine. Like when you are explaining this code, so any see, we are not. I mean, I'm not expecting to explain all the Azure services, but like say for example, one same concept is there in AWS and Azure. So if you are going to like in one small comparison, something like that, so we'll get an idea. Okay, so the same thing we are using in Azure, something like that. Any possibility, or only focusing on only AWS?
No, focusing around AWS because there is a challenge in the ask which you are telling. If you are comparing with unknown things, is very big, becomes a very difficult for you also to visualize and get it right. So
Correct. Okay.
if you know Azure already, comparing makes sense. But if you don't know the Azure, it's a black hole or in completely black, completely blind.
Exactly. That's true.
Right.
That's
So
true. Yeah.
yeah, that's why I wouldn't prefer. So and we're not going to do it anyhow. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And another thing, no, there is no timing changes right till end of the course.
Yeah. Yeah. No
Same
changes.
timings will maintain.
Same times.
Okay, Raghu. And last one is I mean, and anyway, we are creating a mission in the AWS and we are going to do practical. So there will be no issues if I'm using Mac, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Correct.
Okay. Thanks, Raghu. That's it. Thanks. Thanks
Yeah.
so much.
Kavish, not able to hear you. Moving on. Yes, Shrikant.
Hi, Raghu. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are the tools we need to install as part of this course? Like we need access to AWS, right? Our own account.
Yeah. You'll be creating your own account. And
Okay.
almost a bill also will come to you, by the way. So on an average, let's say 2,000 rupees per month will come easily for this to practice. At least if
Okay.
you're practicing 3-4 hours a day, that bill is anticipated.
Okay, that would be fine. And as part of this Terraform or Ansible, so do we need to install anything on our laptops?
No, laptops we don't do in the organizations. Nothing you will do in the laptop. You will use
Okay.
your laptop to write the code, and you will
Okay.
use your laptop to connect to the systems. Only one editor and one tool to connect to the system is what we'll do. That's it. In the organization, even you don't connect from your local system also, typically talking. You'll have
Correct.
some other systems, by the way, which you will be logging into that system, and that system will have access to there, which will record you what you're doing even, right? on the servers. So
Okay.
so editor is the major one that you'll install, and other small utility to connect to the server. That's it.
Okay. And in case if we miss any of the class, immediately we can go through it in the next day, right? The
No.
previous class.
No, the same day, maybe in 1.5 hours of time, you will get it. You will
Okay,
get the
we-
recording available. Yeah, it will just take a
Oh.
little time to process it, and it will be available.
Okay. So I think this is not the right forum to discuss the fee details, right? Is it or no?
Yeah, it is there in the portal, I think, already. So you can check there.
Okay. Okay. I will check with you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, Mahinder here.
Yeah.
Yeah, regarding this, I mean, customized lab access, what you've told. So, I mean, will you be providing lab access, or we need to, create our own AWS account? I mean, generally we'll create our AWS account, but you have mentioned the customized lab access.
Yeah. Once you create your AWS access or AWS account, by the way, from there you will create the machines with the environment which I provide, something like an AMI. Okay. So that will accelerate your learning, is what I mentioned. Yeah.
Okay. And regarding this Q&A, so every, for every class we have Q&A at the end, or
No, this is a typical demo, by the way. That means the topic is covered at the starting and questions has been taken at the ending. But usually on the live session, so it will go immediately after the topic. Maybe 10-15 minutes a topic happened, and immediately I'll take any questions if you have any.
okay. I mean,
Frequent pauses will be there. Yeah.
okay. During our lab, sessions, I mean, if we, if we're doing any lab access, so if we get any doubt, I mean, in the weekend, Saturday or Sunday, can we, is there a working session or,
Yeah. It is 365 days. There is a lab session happens every day from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m. Okay.
Okay.
So there is a couple of people sits from my team, and they'll try to answer you. If they're not able to answer, they'll pull me to the call. I'll be the answerable for that. But your question will be answered every day, including Saturdays and Sundays. Correct.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Not able to hear you, Sandeep. Check your mic settings.
Hi. Hi, Raghu.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maximum all my doubts was cleared, but only one thing is there. I'm completely from the finance background. So I decided to join that AWS DevOps. So here the thing is everyone is asking that once you put the resume, we have to keep that 3+ experience or 5+ experience. So in that specific issue, can we get any help from your end?
Like, what is that issue? If you can give an example.
No, like everyone is saying that we have to keep in resume, we have to keep that we are an experienced person, like 3+ years experience. For that, any kind of support I will get from your side, like consultancies like that.
Yeah. So these organizers will help you know this.
Okay. So for that, they will charge some price, right? For that, I need to discuss before the joining the course.
Yeah.
Because we have to plan the budget also. So can I get their numbers like that?
Your organizers, like wherever you join, you'll find out a number of them, right?
Okay.
On Join DevOps, and you might have WhatsApp. You got to receive a WhatsApp message, right?
Yes.
Just reply to that saying I want to talk.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Remaining everything is cleared because of previously everyone asked the questions. I cleared that.
Yeah.
I got answers from them. Thank you.
All right. Yes, Sandeep. Still not able to hear. Can you go ahead? I heard something. Moving on. Yes, Shrikant. Yes, Shrikant.
So may I know a little bit about you, like where are you from, like in which organization you are working?
I work for ThoughtWorks.
Sorry,
ThoughtWorks.
ThoughtWorks. Okay. So where are you from? May I know that? If you mind.
Sorry,
No. Where are you from? Like, if you're comfortable, let's say.
I'm staying in Hyderabad, by the way.
Okay, you're comfortable with Telugu also. If anything needs to be discussed, like project wise.
Yeah, so Telugu is fine, no problem.
Okay. No, we know about Shiva, but regarding you, we have no idea. Like Shiva is from Nellore. In that way, I want also know about you. Like you are from Hyderabad. Hmm. No, not like it's a silly question, but
That's okay. Nothing will change. Don't worry. Content will not change. Even the language changes.
okay.
No problem. No worries.
We can feel free like we can ask Shiva like anything in the Telugu also. Like in the same way, can we ask in the query section like in Telugu if you want?
Lab session, it is fine. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. My question is very simple, sir. Actually, in the like Java, Python script during session, they used to prefer preferred like some type kind of GB RAM laptops on this side of Intel Core and all these things. Do you prefer like any proper laptops and all those things?
Because those are trainers, those are not working guys. So that's why they they told you that way.
No, that's why I said in the earlier. My question is very simple. Do you prefer like any type of laptops? Like it should be like a minimum this kind of RAM up to minimum we have to 4 GB, 8 GB like this.
No. See, that's what, like in company you go for what is the use of laptop to develop something, right?
Yes,
Only that
yes.
much. You write code only. Rest
Okay.
everything happens on the servers only.
Okay.
Okay. So for just writing the code, why do you require a fancy system? Any basic working one is fine.
So for our during live sessions or our lab in the sessions, we don't need any proper kind of laptops, or we don't need even laptop also.
You require laptop, of course.
That's why I'm asking. Is
You
there any
require
proper like
laptop, boss. That much
usually
high
I
can
have
you
heard?
escape?
Usually I have heard and somewhere I have seen they used to prefer some kind of minimum laptops. That's why I'm just asking that.
Yeah. That's what Apple comparison is not correct. First thing.
Okay.
Second thing is, okay, I mean, you don't first of all make your mind that, if everything is running in your laptop, let's say, by the
Okay.
way, that means you're thinking like, company, if I lose a laptop, whatever the reason it is, let's say if some
Okay.
flood happened, my laptop is completely not working, that means my business is stopped. It won't
Okay.
work that way, right? Your laptops is only for an end user to develop certain things. So you're an engineer, you'll hold certain things in your laptop. That means especially that whatever the code developing and all. That also end of the day, you'll push it to the servers and go. Okay.
Oh.
So because if you don't use the standard practices that what you do in the companies, so such questions and such answers will come into picture. So someone telling this much laptop and all is needed, by the way.
Okay.
Okay. So we don't do that way. So we go completely corporate way, enterprise
Okay.
world, how in the companies, however they do it, we'll do that way only. Okay.
Okay.
Laptop
Okay.
is a
Thank
very
you for.
basic entity to deal with. That's it.
Okay. Thank you for your answer. And I didn't get like I couldn't scan my your WhatsApp community. So how can I get? Is there any your team connect with me? Like what else do?
Yeah, you just reply on that WhatsApp what you got it. You'll get it.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Thank you.
Yeah. I think the QR is working. Whoever just spoke. Maybe check your settings.
Yeah. Hi, Raghu. I have a query.
Yes, Amani,
I
go ahead.
have seen that in LinkedIn and some other platforms, like everyone is telling that Trivate tool is using for FS scan and image scan. Will you teach us?
Which one? Sorry,
Trivate tool.
I did not got that. Sorry.
Trivy tool, something there.
Training
Yeah,
to
first second. TRIVY.
TRM
TRIVI.
Triva. Is that
VY.
correct?
No, it's wrong. VY.
Trivy.
Yeah.
What is it doing, by the way? Aquasec, okay. Aquasec, why, what is this, by the way? Container image scanning and all these things. That is okay. So you will use just an alternate way of doing it, by the way. So we'll use, so we also have something called as CAS, CVE, right? So CAS, by the way, so here this is only just dealing with the CVEs, by the way. So you can see this CVEs. Okay, and also something they're dealing with SBOM also. That's also okay. SBOM anyhow, I'll show you with check marks and all. That's okay. There will be always one or more tool for everything. Okay, to do the job.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, hi sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, you told like the Azure is going to happen in the coming month. So is that related to Azure DevOps, sir? So complete.
Yeah, this whole DevOps course in the diagram, whatever you have seen, the right hand side still remain everything same. Just on the left hand side, Azure AWS will become Azure. That's
Okay, okay. Sir, with the Kubernetes which we are learning in this program, so we can able to attend the certification CK or CKAD. So will that cover that syllabus, sir?
CKAD certifications are small when you compare with the projects, by the way. Okay.
Okay.
What we do is because the another biggest problem with the CKA certification is they teach you Kubernetes.
Yes.
Okay. But in company, when you come to the company, by the way, so you don't just run Kubernetes. IT is equal to Kubernetes. Answer is no. Okay.
Okay, sir.
That means
Yeah.
IT is just not running with Kubernetes only. You go to an organization, Kubernetes is not the only tool that will run in the organization.
Okay.
There's
So,
a whole ecosystem, by the way, whereas this is a very small piece.
okay, is it recommended, sir, the certification?
For a knowledge perspective, answer is yes. Okay.
Yeah.
And the knowledge perspective here, you'll get more and more than that, by the way. Okay, because they go with the basics of what is what.
Yeah.
Okay, intro course, by the way. But intro will not help you on the project. That's what I'm mentioning. You will learn own this, especially this problem I'm facing. I'm just spending some time and telling. Only Kubernetes is a problem. Okay, because in the organization, if you go into the organizations, only Kubernetes is what you don't run. You will have a ecosystem that you need to run. Okay, so
Yeah.
that knowledge is very, very important because just learning Kubernetes will not help you with your job. You just get only the knowledge.
Yeah, understood, sir. Sir, in this program, we'll be having along with the Python scripting, we have the Groovy as well, sir.
Groovy comes for Jenkins, by the way. The answer is yes. If you go through the Jenkins videos, you will get it.
Yeah, and shared libraries. So we will be getting that Groovy script. Okay, sir. Sir, one last question, sir. So here, AWS infra is also covered. So some resources or how it will be, sir?
Oh, why so many infra? Sorry.
Here, AWS infra is also covered, sir. Few topics in infrastructure. I mean, like the basic AWS resources.
You're doing course on AWS. We are talking
Okay.
about basics.
Yeah. So I'm confused. Generally, AKS. So some implementations will happen in AWS, but not the core topics will be explained. So I'm just asking about it.
Yeah, EKS is part of the course.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. You're on mute, Shyam. You need to unmute and talk. Moving on. Harshal, go ahead.
Hey, hi.
Yeah.
I'm audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah, so I'm working as a technical support engineer and I know only the basic language like SQL and Python. It's on the basic level only. So I want to know, will I be able to learn DevOps with the basic knowledge only, or do I have to prepare more like Linux or itself, Linux or something else? And also the second question is, so we are conducting DevSecOps. So what is the difference between DevOps and DevSecOps?
So in the process of releasing the application, where you always need to rely on the security team to give a sign off, where you will not do the you will not be able to deliver the application 100% confident. It has to go through some people, and people has to give a sign off. That lacks in the delivery process time. Okay. So to reduce that particular time, over a period of time, the tools has been evolved. Someone was talking about Trivi, right? So these tools will bring you certain, context that, so the code which you are releasing is a highly secured code. Okay, so doing such things as a part of your process of releasing the software in CI/CD is basically called as DevSecOps, and some extra things also you would consider more of a security process. It's a DevSecOps, yeah. Who was asking that question? You went on mute, Harsh.
Yeah, and also so no prerequisite for this course, right? So it's like I don't have to be the expert in Python or scripting and bash scripting like that.
Yeah, we'll teach you here, no worries.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yes, Shyam.
Yeah, hi, Raghu. Are you able to hear me now?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm from the IT infrastructure background, especially the system administration. Been working with VMware and Citrix for more than 10 years. So, for example, our package is already 15 lakhs or 20 lakhs. Now we are going to this DevOps side. Now the technology shift, maybe we are totally freshers in that. So how these salary negotiations or the mappings, will that the prior experience, whatever we have been doing so far, will that help, or how they will consider me while the interviewing or deciding, especially ultimately it's a package, right? Salary, how that will impact or help my prior experience.
Your
Thanks.
package discussions usually goes on your existing package only, irrespective of the technology you're coming from, right? If you are through all the technical rounds, and your package discussions will happen on your existing package. So no worries on that, generally.
Okay, yeah, that's great. And another question, so my another brother also just finished his graduation. So he's not from the technical background, the BTech or something. So he's from just BCom student. And he's also, I'm encouraging him to take this course. So while selecting the freshers, right, will that a criteria for the companies to choose only the BTech BE students, not the other normal graduation guys?
Yeah, that's a question, right question. So basically, whoever comes from an engineer background, so why do we prefer them is because they already have a context, and also here we are calling it as DevOps engineering, right? So that means the people come from a engineering background of any stream, by the way. So he will be able to understand the things of engineering. Like when we say engineering, like structural things we talk about, the performance things we talk about. So he'll generally have an idea from his education, by the way. Okay. Yeah. So that doesn't mean that only the guys who was doing the engineering is only the engineers. That is 100% wrong, right? At least in India, it is 100% wrong. Okay, 90% wrong, in fact. So that's where education does not matter, but a challenge would come on to some institutions or some companies, by the way. They might not consider, so having a BCom, which is considered as an undergraduate, not a graduate, by the way, because of 3 years of education, right? After +2. So they will be considered as a undergraduate, and they'll not consider of giving a job. But not every company does that again. So he might not be able to apply for certain jobs as a fresher, but later everything will get sorted out, like once he gains the experience.
Okay, will there be assistance from your side in this kind of, getting the jobs, or kind of at least the interview calls?
Yeah, that team is there, so they'll help you. Like initially they have an introduction, right? So Krishna and those guys will help.
Thanks so much for you.
Nishan, not able to hear you.
Hello, can you hear me now, Raghu?
Yeah.
Yeah, morning. I have a simple question. What about the notes? Do we get it on a daily basis after the class? Because it will be difficult for us to, go back onto the course again and make our own notes. Do we have any provision in this program?
We will give you the high level notes on the
Hmm.
points which we discussed on that particular video, added as a video description.
Okay.
So, and after that, you ask for questions, you're saying?
No, the notes, whatever you explain in the class, let's
Mhm.
say the Linux commands or the shell scripting or the Python scripting, whatever it is. So you give them as part of the notes after the class, or do we have to watch the video again or make notes while you explain us in the class or in the session?
Yeah, so the bookish will not work, especially for this training, especially
Okay.
because because of few things, by the way. So if you go by bookish tomorrow, like there is no book, you can't do the job.
Yes. Yeah.
So let's change that methodology. We'll always go with the official documentation. Okay.
Yeah.
And we'll always gain the things from their official documentation. In turn, you also refer the same thing, which should be fine.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That
Because
answers my question.
I kind of seen certain people in my earlier stage of my career itself, like if their if their some reference notebook is not there, they're dummy only. They'll not work at all. Okay, so we're talking about very old Stack Overflow, no Stack Overflow kind of a thing, right? So that means if any problem comes into picture, and if someone would have solved in the team and they have a reference information, they will be able to solve the problem next time. If they're not able to find that reference, yeah, they're dummy only, just sitting idle only.
Okay.
Okay, I don't want to get onto that kind of a mode, by the way. So I have seen the challenges of the people going in that mode. So that's where I always encourage to go with the practical way. Properly, you go to and refer the documentation and you get it, and then only you will do it.
Okay. Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Hi, Raghu. Yeah, I'm Marsha.
Yeah.
Regarding AWS, I have a doubt. You said, it will be chargeable, right? I heard about free trial accounts. So how can we use it? Is there any chance of going on free services?
Now, free here also you will get it, by the way, but however, you have to pay to them. Okay. So free, who does the 1 floor project, not 10 floor project? Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the answer. So who does a very basic projects, they'll be able to cover in the free limits.
Okay.
Okay, you want to do a serious big project to learn the thing seriously, then free trial will not be enough.
Okay.
You want a live project, you join for a real-time training only, right?
Yes.
Real-time won't go with the free accounts.
Okay.
So that's how. And yours is also free account. Everyone, whoever creates an account is a free tier.
Okay.
As long as you are under the limits, it is free. Cross the limits, it is payable. And we always cross the limits. We always cross 10 floors above. So it's always charged.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Hi, Raghu.
Yeah.
Actually, my concern is that whether your DevOps like training helps to create SRE exam or is not any reference with that.
Who is giving SRE exams? I don't know. Maybe.
Okay. Nobody is giving SRE exam?
SRE is a role, right? Who will give an exam?
Correct. DevOps Institute of Skill Framework, right?
No, it's a role, right?
Yeah, SRE
is
is
not
role.
a technology.
Yeah, it is not a technology, but there's DevOps Institute of Skill Framework. They are offering the certification.
They're selling it that way.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Second is that you have said that you have DevOps. No, during the starting they said DevSecOps also. So you're covering both.
Right.
Okay, thank you.
But what is your SRE exam covers everything which I have in my syllabus.
That's why I'm asking whether you.
I don't know. That's why
Okay.
I'm asking you. You would have done the groundwork, right? Because you are looking for that. Then you would have compared what is they are offering.
I've done that, because I have done in what are the examination requirement, what are the DevOps, like all the terms and definitions, and what are the value added resources and all those things, right? And what the examination like duration, practitioner examination, and the course and all those things.
I see this as a more of a theoretical exam, by the way. I don't see it as a practical exam.
So I don't know. There are various scenario-based questions there. So I don't know whether practical, you have hands-on, you cannot do that.
No, at least by the, I mean, what they're giving is, I mean, this is the course curriculum. You're seeing my syllabus, right?
Yeah.
This is the course you're talking about. DevOps Institute.
It's not the same which I am also looking, but yes, it's more or less same thing.
Then what they're teaching, what you will learn is the section they have mentioned, right?
Yeah, the many things they have mentioned in that.
Yeah.
Especially
So out of this, there's only two technical things I'm seeing about. So monitoring and service level is even technical, but I mean, theoretical, by the way. So tools and automation, whether they give the intro or they go in the detail, I don't know. But this more of a theoretical exam.
No, actually, it's about a remediation of all issues across the value chain of all the DevOps practices.
Then for that you read the book, right? Why do you require SRE book is there, na, from Google? This is the fourth. SRE book is there. I mean, no. SRE is born from Google. You know that?
Yeah.
Right. So you go through their books, by the way. Simple. Now, why do you need a course for that? Just for theory purpose, I'm telling, not practical purpose.
Second question, that normally a person, so when for a normal thing I can explain you. Suppose that I am DevOps. So there's a two part, like one is ops part. So are you preparing a person, individual to have hands-on both dev and ops, or particular who want to make a career as a dev or a collaborative one and go to the ops one? Because it's a normal in day-to-day scenario in any company, you got a Jira task from and then you based on Jira tasks, then you check in code in the Git, then you're using by Apache Maven, then build process by Jenkins, then Jenkins sent to artifact, then artifacts going to deploy in production, then you use Docker image to multiple first deploy, then you use monitoring as you another same thing, then Splunk is used. So there are many things, many tools you are using there, right? So are you making hands-on on that?
A long more than that, actually.
Cool.
Okay. So because some of the things which you have told with little immaturity, hoping that you didn't work on it, that immaturity is fine, by the way. Right. So because you make an artifact, you deploy to the production you mentioned, but it will not directly go to the production.
Agree. Yeah. That
it will go to different stages.
Exactly.
And each and every stage, what will happen? Okay. How you should release all those particular context also should be there. Right. So that is one thing. And also the other little, incorrect thing which you mentioned is dev and ops. Okay. So dev work or ops work. I think that is the wrong, at least my knowledge is telling me that is a wrong thing. Okay. So DevOps is a process of releasing the.
So bro, actually I've taken many interviews. That's why I'm talking about, right?
I
So
don't
I'm
think
taking
so.
more than 600 interviews. And
I don't think so.
People are struggling between dev and ops.
See,
people are very good in ops.
from.
I'm telling you, people are very good in ops. They are, even they don't write a single page of code, right?
Hey, I mean, that's okay. Let me tell you one thing. So you have taken 60,000 interviews in a wrong way. There is of no use.
No, it's not a wrong way, because DevOps came to conclude the
let me conclude.
help you maybe you champion your things, but you need to
shall we go with a common reference?
Yeah, common reference. Yes, I'm with.
So what is DevOps? I keep it on internet.
Yeah.
Now you trust Amazon statement?
No, I trust my knowledge when I go through DevOps. Yes. When I judge, when you justify as a technical guy, more than 20 years of experience, I know what is DevOps, right?
So let's say if I go with what is DevOps in Amazon, DevOps is a combination of cultural philosophies, practices, and tools. Increase your organization ability to deliver your applications and services at high velocity. They were nowhere mentioning DevOps is a combination of DevOps is a combination of ops. Is they're not telling it? Okay. So please go and read the statement before
So I
challenging.
don't read the book because I came from the
That's
background
okay.
from the basic.
That is your
right?
problem, right?
No,
But
it's
don't
not
try
my
to
problem.
push
It's
someone saying that,
my
you
understanding.
are wrong, I am right.
So if I am telling you what is the
20 years.
benefits of simple
I have
DevOps,
taken six-
DevOps, can you tell me what is the benefits of DevOps without touching your slide?
This is what it is now. It is
No,
directly
this is
telling
what is
Amazon
it.
statement.
It is because you don't know the basic concept from where it's generated. It's generated
Boss,
from basics, right?
Okay, I work friend. By the way, let me give you my introduction.
I just gone through your introduction. I
Okay.
gone through the introduction. Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're smart. That's fine. I'm telling you. You're the right guy. Let it be right only. Let me be wrong only.
No,
I'm a
it's not
company
a wrong
where I'm
right.
working
You need
from.
to not to the ultimate thing idea is
Arey
you should
boss.
respect.
Arey, there is
you
no
should-
point in arguing
You
on
should
that.
respect
Let's
other
agree
opinion
you're the
also.
smart guy.
No,
Let's
not
agree
smart.
now.
You're simply rejecting other words like ideas or
It's not
you know,
right.
concept, right?
I'm the person taking money here to take everyone in a right direction. You don't
Okay.
like that direction, don't
No,
take it.
no,
There's no point in
Go
arguing.
with
right?
your point, and I congratulate you with all your efforts and everything. Best of luck.
Yeah. Best of luck to succeed with your long knowledge also. That is also fine. No problem. Okay. So just to maybe I just disable your speaker by the way. I work in an organization is called as ThoughtWorks, where today you're talking about the microservices and agile. In the whole world, there is only one company which is agile, where the agile is born. That is ThoughtWorks. Now I know, okay, you may be 20 years old with 20 years experience with super experience, but you're not agile. And process of DevOps has been born along with agile. And we are true agile company. You want to start reading about it, now you read it. Of course, you don't have a bookish knowledge. Okay, I can't help you with that. You when you start reading it, you will come to know. Okay. Before challenging to someone, you should have a concrete knowledge. Just coming and shouting on someone will not help you. Okay. Sorry. Yes, Manoj.
Yeah, sir. This is Manoj again. So, sir, one last question. So, I'm currently working as a DBA, sir, around 3 years. So, I have one small silly doubt. So, actually, my graduation, I have completed it after 1 year, which supposed to be completed in 19. I've completed it in 20. So, will that be a problem when I change the company? Just want to ask your.
So, with your experience already holding, I don't think so it will be a problem.
Okay, yeah, 3 years I have completed. So by January I'm going to complete. So, so I just want to ask your suggestion. So
Yeah. So, and you're, I mean, you are DB of which tech, I mean, which tool?
Oracle, sir. Oracle.
Oracle.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to transform into this area?
Generally, I joined in Azure, sir. So because of due to some reasons, so there was no project. So I got a DBA opportunity. So I couldn't able to resist that. So I'm having a bond in the company. So I just accepted the project. So that's how I became a DBA, sir. But I'm keep on researching about the cloud technologies and everything since from the beginning. I have some idea about DevOps also. So here I just want to gain some practical knowledge about all the areas. So I came here, sir, for the reason.
All right.
Yeah. That will not be a problem, right, sir?
Ideally, no, because
Okay.
when you appear for an interview, I'll just look only at your your technical skills, right? I won't
Yes.
bother about your education, generally speaking.
Yeah, that too. I'm not a BTech guy, so I came from a BSc background.
Should be fine, I think.
Yeah, okay, sir. Thanks for that.
Hello, sir. My name is Jagdish. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm actually a 2023 graduate in the computer science background. I finished my BTech, right? So I wanted to know, like, during this course, like, how we are going to provide the like the job assistance support, like throughout the course. I mean, after finishing this course, like how many months are you going to provide support to us? Like, and about the job referrals, I'm having doubts.
There is no limitation, at least.
Okay.
Yeah, and there is no point in limitation also, I feel.
Yes. Is this kind of like a lifetime course, sir?
Yeah, you'll have the access lifetime for this course.
Okay, but since I'm having like a 1.5 year career gap, is it going to be a problem for me while applying to jobs after finishing this course?
So that depends, by the way. I mean, there can be two sides as well. Okay, there may be a problem that you may not be considered as fresher anymore with 2 years
Okay.
gap, and there are companies still okay with that as well.
Okay.
Yeah, you can't generalize that.
Acha. So after finishing this course, can I still get jobs? I mean, like, based on this experience, right?
Based on the learning experience.
Yeah, and also the completion of projects and everything.
See, ideally, yes, by the way. So when you appear for an interview, I mean, let's talk a little bit open, by the way. So the freshers, the opportunities is very less. Okay. On the first note, by the way.
Okay.
So when you appear for an interview, like I was mentioning to someone, so the job has to be yours. Okay. You appear for an interview, there are 50 more people attending, along with you. The job has to be yours.
Okay.
Okay. So that's where you need to ensure, you learn it properly. That is the major thing. Rest of the
Okay.
things, maybe like as a fresher, it is working. You have to go with a fresher. Otherwise, you may need to go with some sort of taking some experience, some consultants. So you
Okay.
understand both the things, but that's the later things.
Yes, sir. So can you tell me like how are you going to provide job reference?
So we have a portal built out, by the way. So with that particular portal, we'll try to provide.
Okay.
You talk to the WhatsApp, whoever received the message, right? Talk to those person. They'll help you with the details. Organizer, you check.
Okay.
Technical questions, you let me know. I can help you with the technical.
Sure, sir. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey, you've been dancing
Hello.
for some time, man. Pressing mute, raise hand, lower hand, raise hand, lower hand.
Yeah, Raghu.
Whenever I thought of giving a chance, by the way, you yourself is raising, lowering the hand.
Yeah, I have so many questions. Okay. First of all, my first question is how much memory RAM is required to practice all Kubernetes Dockers to work on the server? Basically, right now I am having 4 GB RAM. Is this enough?
Yeah, that is enough.
4 GB RAM. So to practice Kubernetes Dockers on clouds, this is enough, right?
Because you don't run anything in your local system. Everything you're going to run in your cloud only.
Okay.
Because companies you go and run in the cloud, not in your local systems.
Okay.
So no problem.
Okay. Okay. One more thing, like you have explained just now to one of the question. Uh, so that you are teaching one project also in that Node.js, React.js, it is included. What is this syllabus? Node.js, React.js, the coding is included in the course or what it may be, Raghu?
No. Basically, like, you are going to engineer an application which is developed by the developer.
Okay.
So that developed application language is what we talked about.
Okay. Developers, they will develop the application by using code Node.js or React.js, right?
Right.
Okay. Um, okay. And one more thing, how much Python content is required for this course, Raghu?
Don't take any discount, by the way. Let's learn 100% now.
Okay. For DevOps, 100, I came to know from, but 100% Python is not required. Just we're using scripting, right? So only basics is enough. Is it?
And no, see, always the scripting languages is small only.
Okay.
There'll be modules for that developed by other persons.
Okay.
Those will be bigger. Bigger and bigger, and you will use what you need only. Right?
Okay.
You go to a supermarket, it's a very big one only. Your
Yeah.
cart is small only. You will
Okay.
load what you want. Right?
Okay.
Not go to buy the whole supermarket, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you will, but 100% items are there, by the way. You will get access to every inventory. right?
Okay.
Okay, maybe I'm giving a wrong example, but just try to understand that, by the way. So scripting, I mean, Python itself is a scripting language, in fact, that has been extended with some other concepts like OOPS concepts and all, which is mostly does by programming people. That area you are considering and calling it as 100%. Yes, it is not 100%, but I am not looking that including as a 100%. That's an additional one topic or additional concept which comes outside of the Python. By the way, OOPS is a general concept.
Okay.
Data structures is outside concept that is being applied to the Python. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm looking in that way. By the way, those are just external concepts. It's not the core of the Python. So let it be what you want to learn. That's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Your way of simplified way to answer it, you will not do the programming like how the programming developer will do it. You will do it in a scripting way. Correct.
Okay. Okay. But data structures is not teaching, right? It is not available in this course content.
Yeah, I'm not doing development.
Yeah. That's what. Okay. One more thing. Like, can you show me the DevOps syllabus content, Raghu? Like shell scripting, Python scripting. Okay. Okay. Can we get the concepts under each one you are covering? Can we get any PDF file for that, or this is?
So this is there actually already, right? So let me put it on the chat. Yeah.
Okay. While teaching in the course, Raghu, first of all, you will teach AWS and then DevOps, or and first DevOps and then AWS. How it will?
You go to a company, you will say that today I'll work on, let's say this month I'll work on AWS, next month only I'll work on DevOps.
No.
Will you think, do you do it that way?
No, Raghu, it's not possible.
I mean, sure, right?
Yes.
So then why the learning has to be that way?
I'm not getting. It means that
you have to learn the way how you work, right?
Okay.
Correct?
Yes.
And that's the same philosophy I'm applying. It's
Okay,
not
but
one after another. It's always problem after problem.
okay. So that you mean to say you will use both at a time on the requirement, right?
Ideally, because that's how you do in the companies, na?
Okay. Okay, Raghu. But one more thing, you were saying that for AWS, if you want to AWS account now, if you are a paid subscription, almost everything every month we are getting around 2,000. Is it 2,000 or 200?
2,000.
2,000. Okay. Okay. One last question. Is there any course availability time between 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. or it's 7:30 to 9 a.m. itself?
Yeah, only one time.
7:30 to 9.
Yeah.
It is not available, right? Between 10 a.m. and is there any other batch, Raghu, for that?
So there'll be a 6 a.m. batch, and that will be Azure DevOps one that will start sometime in November mid.
Okay.
Yeah.
But this is it is fixed 7:30 to 9 a.m.
Correct.
Okay, Raghu. Yeah. Thanks for your information.
Yeah, Pyro.
Yeah.
Sorry, I come up with one more question. Like, so as someone said earlier, he is from Oracle DBA, right?
Yeah.
The same way, I am also SQL Server DBA. So my question is like,
which DB?
SQL Server, Microsoft SQL Server.
Microsoft. Okay.
Like I have a skills like Python coding and MuleSoft, multi technologies I have worked with, but I don't have any project. So that organization assigned a SQL Server project. As earlier someone said. So my question is like that. In DBA, POCs will be available 24/7 to monitor the alerts and tasks and the storage utilization. These and all need to monitor a POC.
Yeah.
But I am not interested to be available in 24/7. 24/7. In the same way, in DevOps also the POC will be available in 24 hours by 7.
Yeah, NOC is there, right?
Depend
So we
on
talked about
organization.
I mean, general teams in the organization. Okay. So you'll always will have the teams who is sitting, L1 team supporting 24/7, irrespective of whether it is DevOps or not. DevOps, you are doing an engineering work, not the support work. Okay.
Oh.
So NOC, GOCs, L1 people will always be there.
Or else it's depend on organization. The privacy will be
Could
available
be.
24 hours.
Could be. Okay. See, because mostly, I mean, you're talking about something the old process way. So still maybe companies are running it in this manner. So now here, each and every team will run 24/7 to support their area.
But I would like to support in between working hours only. After the working hours, I will not be support. So that's why I'm asking.
Yeah,
Like,
if you say the same statement, I'll not pick your resume or I'll not pick into my company.
no, why could I say to the organization?
No, that's what like you were. I mean, basically, when you actually go for some applying a profile, okay. By the way, you can't say that I'll not pick up. See, for me, business first. Okay. Okay. So my things is always adjustable. Is okay. Okay. So as long as a business is good, by the way, my pocket will be full. Okay. As long as I'm good with the business people or the business context, I'll get my hikes every year. Okay. So the moment I say that, no, I don't want to answer post 6 p.m., then probably you'll get the same response from the other people also. As long as you're flexible. I mean, other side people also will be flexible, is what my personal opinion, and that's what I believe, and that's what I've been doing. Okay. So
weekend support, I could not require like DBA, right? So that's why I was interested to learn the DevOps.
Yeah, production deployments will be there. Okay. So will not go as smoother. Then all of a sudden there is a bug encountered. You end up maybe on the call or on the before the system. You can't deny that in the engineering world. That will be there. But however, like let's say if you go in the support model, right? So who runs typically as an administrator mode, they run 24/7. That means the shift itself rotates. That will not be, you will generally see in the DevOps world, by the way, a DevOps engineer. Typically, you will not have 24/7, but extended will be always anticipated. No doubt in that. Because the production releases always you do that on non-business hours only. Because currently I work for a bank in India. Okay, I get the business business side go ahead only post 11 p.m. only. I had to release during that time only, no other option, because that is the time you'll get a less less user load, by the way, so your changes is less impacted to the customers. So we can't actually so negotiate on that. Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Hi Raghu, Deepak here.
Yeah.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. In this screen which you have shown, right, teams in waterfall model, there is a DBA team also there, right? I'm currently working as Oracle DBA. If you go to Agile waterfall, teams in Agile slide, it's completely mentioned there as a dev engineer. Is there any relevant activities, DBA kind of stuff? It will be included in that particular part, or are you currently working right as a DevOps? So I'm just thinking, is there any relevant work related as a DBA also included in that?
Yeah. So there are multiple dimensions to this actually. So especially the modern applications are not going with Oracle. Okay. So because Oracle is a typical, I'm not talking about performance perspective, by the way, but just typical today's world, whoever is starting the business applications, they are not going with the Oracle. They may go with mostly with, if it is really SQL, by the way. So maybe Postgres SQL is the one of the leader in that. If it is no SQL, by the way, Mongo is the major leader in that. Okay. Now these two services are available in the cloud itself. So your effort of maintaining it, patching it, all those backing it up and all is very minimal in these areas when you go with the cloud services. That is a generalized context, but we are not ending there. There are multiple databases as well, right? So so denying Oracle is not being picked up widely, but still it is the leader in the SQL database, no doubt in that. A lot of people, if any project actually involves the Oracle things, Oracle related one, so then a DBA will exist in the team itself maybe we'll try to, if the project nature is like that. So generally what we do is we'll pick up a person who is from a DBA background like you, who also knows the other tools, by the way, will be a part of the team. So which your majority of your responsibilities, or you will be owner towards more onto the DBA activities and less onto the other things. It's just a balancing. That's how we do.
Okay. And one more question, Raghu. It's as a like scripting wise, we are just talking about, right? Is that included as a Python or shell script over here?
Both.
Both. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
That's it.
Anyone? Any other questions? I think we're almost done.